Okay, so when you launch your Canva, this is what you are going to see. So the next thing we are going to do is to just click on this text here and click on this, then we delete it. The next thing we are going to do is to come up at these three dots here. So we'll be selecting a design dimension. That is, in this case, it is called image size. So we click this. We have to delete all these default dimension there is there. So we are going to be using the design dimension of 42 by 59. That is 42 by 59. Then we'll click on OK. So the next thing we are going to do is to come down here to this two square here and click on it. So we are going to be importing a background image that we are going to use as a background for the design. So I click on the gallery. When I click on this, it's going to take me. Now look, pay attention to what I'm clicking. I'm clicking from gallery. This is different from import. We are going to still say import. I'm clicking from gallery, this particular one here. So when I click on it, it's going to take me into my device gallery. I'll pick the pictures that I need. So this is the picture. There's no need to resize. Just go ahead and click on this mark button to then import it directly. So once you import it, then it will automatically enter as a background of your design. Now the next thing I'm going to do now is to now import the image of my design, which is going to be the focal point of this design. So this is what I clicked and imported this image, but this time around I'm going to click on this center button. Then I'm going to use this import option to now import the image I want to use. So likewise, when you click on that section, it's going to take you into your device gallery, but this time around you're just importing in just a normal image for the design, not the background. So what I'm going to do now, in this case, there is this element in this picture I don't want to show, so I'm going to use this point at the edges and just draw it down and cut it out before I now import the picture. So I've cropped out that section. So this is how to crop out an unwanted elements in a picture that you have. So these points at the edges are not, I can use it to decrease or increase the size. That is actually resize the elements of my design. So I may still resize this picture as I move forward in the design. So the next thing I'm going to do is to type in text elements in this design. So I'm just going to come down here to this A option here. So this A option here, this A here, so I click on it. So click on this text here. So I'm going to type in a header, then come down here to this edit option. So it's going to reveal the editing area where we can now type in the text properly. So I'm going to be adding a header text. So when you are done, just click on this OK, and then the text will be imported into the design. So you can just position it to the space you want it to be. So I want to type in another text again. So what I'm going to do is to just deselect, just click around and deselect. Come down here, you can click on this text, make sure that it is still on A. Then click on this text, you click on edit again, it will reveal this editing space. So I'll now type in the second one. When you are done, just click on that OK side, so it will just bring in the text. Now what I'm going to do is to start formatting and then start styling these texts here, the header and the subheading. For the header here, I'm going to increase the font. Let me space this. So I'm going to change the font. Now I have to make sure that it is still, this A is still selected. So I'm just going to come here and look for font. So I'm going to be going with a font called Boogaloo Legula, this one here. So I'm going to Boogaloo Legula. So I'm going to click on it. So it changes the font. Once you click on it, you will notice that this font here, it changed. So you click on this OK. So I'm also going to change the font size. I'm going to increase the font size to So I'm going to change the font size to 70. So all you need to do is to use this point and then increase it. The more, if you increase it to the extreme, it will enlarge. Then if you decrease it to this minus section, minus side, it will also reduce. So let me keep it at you can also use this plus sign to increase the size. You can use this minus size to decrease them. So let me keep it at 70, and then you have to make sure that you center it, everything is well centered. So here I'm just going to change the font size, only the font size of this. I'm going to change it to, just change it to, let's say 30, and then keep it there. Make sure it is also well centered. Then when I'm done, I click on this mark option to complete the selection. Now there's another thing again I want to do on this particular text there. I want to add a letter spacing there, so I'll click on this spacing. So I will just enlarge it to, let's keep it at 50. So the next thing I'm going to do is to start typing in other text elements for the design, that is the body text and then every other text that I'll be using in the design. So I'll just come down here again to this A, click on it, make sure that it is selected. You have to make sure that this A is selected. Click on text, then click on edit. So we're going to type the text. So once you are done typing, just click on this OK button and then it will just bring it in. So you can use this point here and then resize the text if you want, or you can just use the text size option to resize your text. So what I'm going to do is to just drag it down and place it at this end here, just below. I'm still going to work on this picture and enlarge it. So this I'm going to come down to size, text size, and then I can just increase it to just 30. Now I'm going to add some alignment to this text here. So I'm going to come here and look for align, this one here. I click on it. So I'm going to align it to the middle. So I click on this. So everything is centered in the middle. So this is how to apply alignment. So I click on this to complete that section. So I'll be typing in other body text of the design. So I come down here again to this text, click on it, click on edit. So I click on OK, bring it down. I will also be changing the font and the font size of this text here. So I come down here and look for font. Look at it here. So I'll click on it. Then I'm going to be using a Braille fast face, this one here. So I'll click on it. You see it changes there. I'm going to use a font size, so I'll come down here and look for size. So here I'll be using a font size of let's keep it at 45. So I'll click on this to complete that section. Then I'll also be adding a little text down here. Now let me show you how to duplicate text in this in Pixel Lab. So just select the text. This I want to duplicate this. Once you just select it, then you click on copy, so it automatically duplicate the text. You see it up here. So I'm going to drag it down here and then now edit it. Once I just double click on it, then it will reveal this editing space, so I can just simply type in what I want to type in. So once you are just done typing, just click on OK, and then the text will be changed. I want to change the font size of this text, so I'll come down here again. Whenever you are working on a text, you have to make sure that this A is selected, that it is on A. So let me bring it down to, let's keep it at 25. Okay, before we conclude this design, I want to tell you something about this design. Remember that when we select this design, we first of all chose a design dimension. So I chose a design dimension that will be somehow portrait, you know, in format or in form. So because I have it in mind, I'm going to be using a picture of somebody that is standing. Remember that we want to sell wares and all that. So in other words, we have to use a design dimension that can accommodate the length of a person. So because we are trying to, you know, look at the focal point of this design is selling wares, we're trying to look at what the person is wearing and all that. So then again, when you are making your picture, you have to pay attention to the picture that you are using. You have to make sure that the picture that you are using is very sharp. It have to be a high resolution image. So it doesn't have to be an image that is somehow blur and all that. Then again, you have to pay attention to what we call focal point. Focal point is in this design, this image is the focal point, because of course you know that we are talking about menswear and all that. So we don't have to keep our image to be somehow maybe by the side that is not shown. Since it is the focal point, we have to bring it to the center and make sure that it is fully showing, because that is where we are trying to advertise some form of clothings. So you have to pay attention to what is the focal point of your design and make sure that you place it well. Image placement, you have to make sure that you place it well. Another thing again is harmony. You see that we are trying to sell some form of fashion and all that. So the picture that you select or be using for your design have to be in harmony with your design. So you don't have to, maybe you are selling fashion and then you are putting a picture of somebody who is running, or you know, and all that. Have to put a picture that goes in line, in harmony with the idea of what you are creating. Then this is what we call to action in design. It's just basically the action you want people who come across your designs to take when they would have seen your design. So that's what we call to action. So to finalize the design, we're going to be adding some decoration to the design. So what I'm going to do is to come down here to this middle button, click on it. So then it will reveal these shape options. So I click on this shape. So I come down here and click on this square box here. So it will be revealing other shape elements, but I'll be going with this arrow here. So I click on this arrow. Now there's another way you can also move this arrow here. You can come down here and look for position, this one here, click on it. So you can just use this arrow here, move it down. If you want to move it up, you can use this one. If you want to move it to the right, you can use this one to also move it to the left if you wish. So you can just use this arrow and position it into place. Then the next thing I want to do is to just bring in under shape again. So I have to deselect. You see that it is deselected, so I'm going to just click around and deselect. Then make sure nothing is selected. So that's when it will now reveal this shape option. So I'll be selecting a circle. So I'll come down here and change the color of that circle to, let me change it to this red. Then I'll just resize it. I can also use this position to bring it into place. So I'm going to also click around and deselect, make sure that nothing else is selected. That is when it will now bring up all this shape option again. So I click on it. I'll be going with a square this time around. So, but let me change the color. Want to change the color. I have to make sure that this color is selected, that it is not on gradient. Then I'll be adding another color. So I can use this rotate option here. I can use this node to resize and increase the size of the shape. So I can use this rotate option here and also rotate the shape. Now just enlarge it. So what I'm going to do now is come down here and look for send to back. This is it here. So you have to make sure that the shape is selected. So I click on this to back, and then it sends the shape element to back. So this is how we got this design. If you have gotten it to this extent, congratulations. The next thing for us to do is to export the design. So, but before we export our design, you have to first of all review the design and make sure that things are spelled well. So to export our design, we just come up here to this three dots here, this three dots here, click on it, and then we go to export image. So click on this export image, then come down here and click on save to gallery, and then your image will be saved to your device.